Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of podcast. I wish and I'm sure you will enjoy listening to the broadcast.
How the ancient Tamil science viewed diabetes. It was viewed quite differently from the way modern science does. So, if you could throw some light on that.
Yeah, the ancient Tamil science has its own pathological classifications where you have a heading called Meganoigal. Meganoi is inflammatory disorders. Okay, inflammatory based disorders. So you have the human blood which is constantly receiving food day in and day out, right?
Yeah.
You have breakfast, you have lunch, you have snacks, you keep eating your dinner, at least 3 meals a day. Everything has to come to the blood. Blood has to go and deliver everything and clean itself with the help of the lung and the liver and the spleen and so on. So, in this endeavor, there are certain inflammatory conditions starts accumulating in the blood, which is called the meganeer. Neer means water. And body has the capacity to clear it and put the hematology, that is blood, in order. When it reaches beyond certain capacity, then this meganeer starts accumulating in the blood. Say 10 points of meganeer is coming, 8 point is getting cleared, 2 is left, right?
Right.
Again 10 is coming, 8 is cleared, 2 becomes 4.
Right.
So it's expanding. Once it reaches beyond certain level, the cleansing system of the body cannot eliminate this inflammatory accumulation of the blood, which is not studied in the modern science so far. Now, once this meganeer is accumulated in the blood, the glucose which gets dissolved in this inflammatory part of the blood will not be accepted by the human cells.
Okay.
So, as we take the blood sample out, we test the glucose.
Right.
Glucose will show on the higher side. So, the glucose dissolved in this unwanted inflammatory part of the blood is always remaining there because these fellows are not accepted by the human cells. Glucose has certain conversions before reaching the human cell, which is not happening here, which is dissolved in this inflammatory part of the human blood. That's called madhumeham. Madhu means
Honey.
Swedish, that glucose. Madhumeham. The meganeer is getting constantly dissolved with glucose. Glucose is dissolving in the blood, it is dissolving in all parts of the blood.
True.
So, these fellows who dissolved in this inflammatory part of the blood, the cells are not accepting it. Cells will not accept unless there are many conversions are there for the acceptance of human cells. Otherwise, they say, bye, we will not agree. They will not agree to let him in.
So, it keeps getting accumulated within the blood.
Yes. That is why you are trying to diffuse the glucose through some other agent. This is what is madhumeham. And when kidney is also very clever in filtering, so they filter excess glucose. So it's called glycosuria. They have the system there again.
Right.
Then it becomes urine sugar. That's called neerivu. So the blood glucose is called madhumeham. The urinary glucose is called neerivu. So your kidneys also will start filtering glucose. During that it goes excess. Then what happens is the main albumin starts also getting filtered by the nephron cells because it has to filter the glycosuria from your blood as much as it can. Still, it is not enough. So the glucose tend to rise in the blood. So this is the pathological explanation for diabetes, both blood sugar and urine sugar in the ancient science.
Okay. So, is it correct to say that the difference between modern medicine and ancient medicine is that today modern medicine tries to put a brake on the glucose entering the blood itself, and maybe ancient medicine looked at more of the cleansing part of it, how to make it work better or make sure that the blood was not...
Exactly. See, you have to find the cause, release this inflammation of the blood, then the hematology comes in order.
It's true.
Since we don't understand the inflammatory part of the blood, you do have inflammatory diseases in the modern science pathological classifications, but we are unable to bring in a component which is human friendly to diffuse or release the inflammatory part of it which is creating the trouble. It's simple.
Right. Because the inflammation could not just affect glucose. I'm sure it affects other things as well.
No, once
well.
this inflammation is there and the glucose starts dissolving in this as the inflammation starts accumulating, your blood becomes acidic.
Acidic.
This acidic part of the blood starts interfering or making all your other internal organs to function on the lower side.
Yeah, because it has to try to keep itself alkaline.
Simple,
at all times.
That is why, those who have a weak retinopathy comes in, it has its own impact over the cardiovascular system and it has its own impact over your kidneys, so the nephrology sets in. Then, acidic condition of the blood may not be able to flow properly to your legs and come up, and then the diabetic foot sets in. When the diabetic ulcer comes in because of the higher glucose condition of the blood, the wound is not healing. It is a chain reaction. Yeah.
Going right up to the brain where
yes.
It, okay, we will look more at that when we are talking about the effects of diabetes. So, this is to do with the ancient Tamil science. What is the condition of the world today with relation to diabetes?
Condition of the world today is this diabetic mellitus is increasing and going. Increasing and going. If you go through the net and see the diabetic atlas, you will know how much of population is getting affected. For example, I can tell you that around America has a beautiful system, data bank and everything. They have completely integrated, coordinated effort of putting all the data together. And you can rely upon these statistics because their system is good. So they have around 330 to 340 million population, that is about 33 to 34 crores. You have 9.4% of the, say 10% of the population is affected with diabetes today, which is increasing and going. But if you take the Indian subcontinent, we have 1,350 million, that is 135 crores. We do have a 10%. So it is more so 9% of the urban population is affected, 3% of the rural population. So overall, we are also affected by 10%. Because our population is huge, our number of diabetes is also on the higher side. As against 34 crores, we have 135 crores here, 101 crore more. So that 10% comes to huge. So we do have 9 to 10% of our population is affected by pre-diabetic or diabetic or whatever it is, which goes that way.
And considering how modern medicine treats diabetes, this condition is not anyway about going, it's only about increasing.
No, modern medicine treats with four system of medicines. One is there's a particular chemistry they bring in to slow down the liver releasing glucose to the blood. The second one is they bring in chemistry, ratified chemicals to, influence and increase the beta cells to produce more insulin. Second one.
Right.
Third one is they bring in a chemistry to slow down the alpha cells to make it produce lesser glucagon, so that it doesn't go and release too much of glycogen.
Right.
And then the fourth one is suppressing the intestine to absorb glucose in slow manner as the digestion goes on. So 4 system of medicine they have. If all 4 system doesn't work in form of tablets, then they come into inject insulin directly into your blood. That's the 5th one. This is how the whole system works in modern medicine.
So modern medicine does not look
We don't address the cause of the problem because the cause of the problem is unknown. So we try to maintain your glucose, blood glucose level, so that to make sure that you are in order. That is the maximum that I can do at the moment.
It's more of a suppression technique than problem solving, the way it looks to me.
Like whatever best available at the moment we are doing.
We're doing, yeah.
Yeah. This is the maximum that we can do at the moment. We will they may be able to understand and come out with full-blooded cure in future.
So wanted to just touch upon juvenile diabetes, the condition of juvenile diabetes today, because yeah, of course, elders are there, but then the children are the next, they are the tomorrow. And what is the condition of juvenile diabetes?
Juvenile
today?
diabetes is pathetic in the sense like that children, it's more of a structural damage. The pancreas is either it is not fully grown, or it is not having enough of beta cells, or certain antibodies have created and gone and destroy the beta cells or whatever it is, so that enough of insulin is not getting produced. So we are not in a position to do anything because of the reason that the pancreas by itself, which is such an important organ, which is called the kanayam in Tamil, which is of chromium power. Yeah. If you can bring in food and nutrition with rich in chromium, you can help these people in a large way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So there is something that can be done for juvenile diabetes as well. The children does
Definitely,
not have to
yes.
live with it.
Yes.
Okay. We'll look at it a little more when we look at different cures for diabetes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, sir, for this beautiful information.
Thank
and
you
of
very
course
much.
for the hope.
It was a nice session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for spending your quality time. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you enjoyed this session. See you later.